magnet sites. Now, I got a letter, short letter from a guy that asked me how to get into sales and could I give him any tips. Okay, now, as you all know, I'm in sales, and I've been in sales for years, for like 10 years. And I'm gonna give you a little step-by-step. How to get into it is going to be quick 2 steps. That's about it. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about sales real quick. The pros and the cons, okay? Now, just so you know, there's a commission and salary jobs, and there's full commission. Full commission tends to pay more and require more drive and dedication. When you got the salary plus commission, it's like, okay, well, I'm getting paid anyway. So if you feel like being a little bit lackadaisical, you can do that and still get a paycheck. Now, I've mostly been in full commission, so I have a lot of drive and determination. So if you like that, go ahead and do that. There's nothing wrong with wanting one that's salary plus commission. Sarah just got a job, salary plus commission. You know, and trust me, she's got a 6-figure capability. You want to get these jobs that have no ceiling. You got what I'm saying? That's one great thing about sales. Some sales jobs actually are a flat hourly rate or just a salary. You ain't got no bonus, no extras. So no matter how much you sell or how little you sell, you get paid the same shit. But I always like the fact of getting the sales jobs with no ceiling, because you could be a guy making $50,000, you could be a guy making $800,000. Just so you know, I left working for ADT Security, that's who I always worked for, and now I've been hired by Home Depot. Now, Home Depot, I'll be selling kitchens and bathrooms, renovations. Guess what the potential is? The guys struggling, from what I've been told, are making 45 to 50. Now, to some of y'all, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. To me, I sneeze at it because I make more than that already with ADT. But the top guys are making 450. Yeah, not 450, 450,000. Got what I'm saying? You see where I'm looking here? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I can make a whole lot of shit happen with $450,000 a year. So, like I said, so you can go with salary, you can go with salary plus commission, and you can go with full commission. I prefer full commission because, like I said, they tend to pay more and tend to have a higher ceiling. The second best and pretty much neck and neck is salary plus commission, period. Go for both of them. Believe me, either one are interchangeable, because I was looking at something that was salary plus commission. Now, what do you need to get into sales? The majority of time, a high school fucking diploma. As a matter of fact, when I applied for Home Depot, that's all they required, is a high school diploma. Now, do you understand, straight out of high school, you have the ability, you don't have to go to school for 2 years, 4 years, 8 years or more. You don't need a PhD. You have the ability to make as much as doctors and lawyers straight out of high school. Now, I'm not against higher education, but most of the time people are going to higher education to get a bigger paycheck. Do you see now with sales that you don't need higher education? And as a matter of fact, I found out that I'm a lot smarter than a lot of people who went to school because they become specialized. They're going for computer programming. Because they're just going for computer programming, they're only smart with computers. I'm an all-around learner. I'm always learning about health and, you know, the body and inspiration and thought. All that type of stuff. I'm an all-around learner. You know what I mean? So while I just got out of high school and I'm making as much as a doctor, you're still in school, racking up them fucking student loans and all, but that's, you know, a different thing. So, like I said, you know, all you really need is a high school diploma. One great advantage also about sales is that you always have a job. Don't let any boss fucking try to scare you about firing you, because the fact of the matter is, if you know that your virtues and that you're a good person and all these other things, and you know you're not in the wrong, and somebody fires you, so the fuck what? You can go across the street and start selling for another company, because that's what? You got a skill. You know how to sell. You always have a job. Even in a depressed market and economy, you always have a job. I got hired in less than a month after getting rid of ADT. Got what I'm saying? And that's because I decided to start looking almost a month later. Aha. Because when I emailed Home Depot, they emailed me back real fast within a couple of hours. So, another thing that could be a con, but I see as a pro, is that sales is going to introduce you to your fears. It's going to put you in front of people. Most people have a problem with public speaking, whether it's a crowd or just speaking to people on the street. You guys that are writing me, and I'll do a video on this, but I'm not sure how I want to do it yet. But you guys that are writing me about how to approach girls and you're worried about this, and let me tell you something. Being in sales, I am hardly ever intimidated to talk to anybody, because I talk to people every single day. My conversational skills are great. You know what I mean? My articulation, all these things have helped me. You know what I mean? These are skills that I acquired while learning to sell. And you also learn to sell yourself. You're always selling yourself anyway. You're trying to court a woman, you're selling yourself. When you're trying to get a job, you're selling yourself. When you're negotiating, trying to buy a car, you're selling yourself. You're selling that to people. You want to convince them of things. Got what I'm saying? So that's one of the, like I said, I consider it a pro. Another pro is the uncapped income. You know, you can make as much as you want to. If you decide you want to go on vacation, you know it's going to cost an extra $3,000 that you really didn't plan in your budget. Work an extra couple hours a day, hit that bonus, get that 3 G's, put it on it, and do it. Another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sell something that you believe in. You cannot sell something to your 100% best capacity if you don't believe in it. One thing I started to learn when I was working for ADT, I learned a few things and I did not believe in them anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you want to believe in the product, you want to believe in the service, you want to believe in the company that you're working for. That way you will be your best. It's just like believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't ever be your best. Now, some people are really good at selling dreams. Some are really they're really good at selling items. Like, for example, selling, what's funny is we could get a little esoteric here because, for example, selling a car, okay? Selling a car is a tangible item, all right? Some people are really good at selling cars. Some people are really great at selling vacations. Vacation is a dream. It's an idea. It's how you're going to feel when you get there. Now, some will argue, well, car's a dream too. I get it. But stay with me here, okay? So a car is that item. It's a tangible item. Whether you're on TV, hey, you could be the guy on TV selling toaster ovens and blenders and all this stuff. They're items. You got what I'm saying? Some people are like, well, I can still dream about them. Dream about better health and better toast. Yeah, I get it. But you see what I'm saying? These are items. These are tangible machines that you can use in your life. Like I said, dreams, some of them are some of the highest paying things out there, especially the ones that are duality, like cars and, like homes. Even when I'm selling, I'll be selling kitchen and bathroom renovations. These are tangible items, but they're also dreams because people have a deep emotional connection to them. And usually when people have a deep emotional connection to something, the higher they're willing to pay, okay? Also, the higher the risks with it, just so you know. Like I know a girl who sold cars and she made $27,000 in 1 month. I don't know what she did with it, but she made $27,000 in 1 month. I know a guy who also sold cars who had what we call a chargeback. The person brought the car back. He lost $10,000 on it. Woo! Right? He made $10,000 on one car and he lost it. Got what I'm saying? So you kind of see where I'm going here? You see where I'm going here? Like, for all of you that are worried about jobs, just make sure, and don't see, it breaks down so many fears. I learned public speaking. I learned not to fear talking to people. I learned negotiation tactics. I gained a bigger vocabulary. You know, it's conversational skills, intellect, articulation. I learned so many things. I learned confidence, belief in myself, self-accountability, self-responsibility, self-discipline. You learn so many things from sales. And a lot of times people look down on salespeople like you're these piece of shit people with only a high school diploma, or you couldn't make it in any other field. Let me tell you something. If income is your main goal, and look, for a guy telling me I'm about to go to the college, the medical school for 10 years, and someone telling me I can make as much as him or more out of high school, I'm pretty much going for that. Now, it's different if you're going for your dream. Yeah, of course, if you want to be a doctor, that's your thing. See, here's the thing, with people that, like, when it's your dream, like, I want to become a doctor, not just because it's great income. I know that, but I love helping people. That's my thing. See, someone say, well, I don't really want to sell cars. That doesn't really, but you got to look at what is your motivation for selling sometimes. I like to sell because I like to see people happy. I like to make them smile. I like to see them safe, secure, making a good decision. Like, for example, I loved selling cars. It was just the company that I worked for was a piece of shit. The people that I worked with, they're assholes. So they made the experience horrible. But when I went on to sell security systems, you know, I got both of them allowed me to get to know people. I loved meeting different people every day, getting to know different people, different walks of life. My first taste of it was with waiting tables. I got to see different people every single day. I just learned these different things, little things that I took from people. Like, wow, so many different types of people in this world. And there, I was pleasing them, bringing their food out promptly, providing good service, making them smile. I love to make people smile if you ain't figured that out yet. Then when I went to sell cars, I made people smile. When I went to sell security system, I made people smile. I made people feel safe and secure. And now I'm helping sell a tangible dream, which is your perfect bathroom and kitchen. Okay? I start training July 1st, just so y'all know. So if any are in the South Jersey, middle Jersey area, Philadelphia, Delaware, stuff like that, hit me up when you need something done. So I think that I've answered all the questions. His main question was, how do you get into sales? All you need is your high school diploma. Some do require a 2-year or 4-year, but sometimes if your resume looks that good, or you've got a lot of experience in selling, they're like, you know what? We require it, but it's really not needed considering your experience. I just got called by a company that required a 4-year degree. And I had to turn it down because I already took it with Home Depot. So, yeah. All right, y'all. Salespeople is not no slouches. They are some of the highest paid people in the world, and some of them actually go on to be the presidents and CEOs of companies. And by the way, you'll learn the entrepreneurial spirit. I'll tell you something about the entrepreneurial spirit. The entrepreneurial spirit allows you to go further, and it allows you to own your business. Most of the great salespeople take full responsibility, and they feel as if it's their company. Got what I'm saying? They believe in the product so much, love the product so much, they actually get offended if someone talks bad about it. They are building their business, their network of people. See, a lot of people that are salespeople end up having side businesses. So what happens is, okay, look, I told y'all it's got the ability to bring in $450,000. You know what the fuck I can do with that? I could buy franchises, buy myself a salad works, okay? I can buy myself some laundromats. I mean, whatever the fuck I want to do, I can do. And say I lose my job there. Well, look, I done invested in a couple of salad works, laundromats, Chick-fil-A's, McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, do you get where I'm going here? You create multiple streams of income. You build this huge nest egg in the beginning. Because you're working your ass off, you're making six figures, retire fucking early. I got a buddy that wants to retire by 40, and you know what? I think I want to follow in his footsteps. You got what I'm saying? With that becoming financially free, a lot of salespeople become financially free a lot faster. Now, I tell you a little bit of the other pitfalls that I thought about while I'm doing this. I hope you all stuck with me and still listen. Other pitfalls is that, I mean, you could work for some assholes, but you work for assholes in normal jobs. So when you're at full commission, or you're in a just particular full commission and you work for an asshole, it can bring your production down. So just keep that in mind, that you like your boss and that you start working well with them, or at least communicating well with them so that you can do your job. Another thing, and my buddy just called me yesterday and asked me for some advice on this. He, right now, manages 3 restaurants. He's being paid well for it, but he hates it. I've already talked about following your passion and following things that make you happy. He worked at a loan office where he was like a low guy on the totem pole. He wasn't even a loan officer. He was selling and bringing in more customers than some of the sales officers themselves, because he was like customer service. And he would talk to them before they talked to the loan officer. He was so good, in fact, he just got offered a job by a guy at another company saying, "We want you. Come the fuck on in here." And his whole thing was like, well, I don't know if my wife's going to be able to handle the sporadic income. Let me tell you something. Everybody listening to this scenario. If you make, say, $100,000 a year managing restaurants, okay? Your wife does the budgets. And you go to a full commission job where you're going to get sporadic pay, which means, hey, I could get $200 this week. Next week could be $1,000. Week after that could be $13,000. Next week after that could be $100. If I'm making $450,000 doing this job versus $100,000 doing this job, do you think you might be able to somehow adapt to that and do the bills properly? I think so. But some people can't handle that sporadic budget. I learned to handle it real well, real fast. Then I went from a job where I was making like $30,000 to one where I jumped to 60. Fuck that, I made twice as much. Trust me, every single one of my bills got paid. Yeah, so you're going to deal with the sporadic income. You got to deal with rejection. You got to overcome all those things. You got to deal with fear. You got what I'm saying? You got the fear of approaching people, stuff like that. And you got to deal with self-discipline. Self-discipline, which is a pro and a con, because once you acquire it, you're unstoppable. But if you don't have it, you will fail in sales. But you've got everything else. You got the unstoppable income. You got the self-confidence, the speaking skills, being able to deal with people better. You've got the negotiation skills. You're going to learn how to budget better. You're going to learn finances. I mean, it's just so many things. Self-confidence. There's so many things that beat out the cons, that I'll never, ever leave sales unless well, what's funny is this is kind of sales in a way. I'm selling myself to you guys. I entertain you, I educate you, I make you feel good. And in turn, YouTube compensates me for having a channel. Hell, I become the biggest son of a bitch on YouTube. Hey, I might stop sales because the biggest sales career of them all is working. I'm just living off of YouTube, just like the Hodge twins and Jenna Marbles and everybody else out there. They're doing so well at selling themselves to you that they don't have to do anything else. They're following their passion. They're making people smile. They're entertaining people. They're living their dream. So, with what I've said, take it all to heart. Sit down and think about if you're cut out for sales, if you want to do sales. If you don't, that's fine. You can apply a lot of principles to a regular job. Get what I'm saying? Talk to y'all later.